let's go ahead. This is all about substitution, okay, and understanding how addition and subtraction are related. Okay, the examples I provided on the board are algorithms for how they're related. So I would like you to talk to your tables about just your first two. Okay, go.
Okay. If I use like the same numbers.
Totally.
Wait. Integers are like the same number.
They're opposite.
Or like, yeah.
Integers are whole numbers and their opposites. All right, let's come back here. So, up here, I have to pick integers between 4 and 9. What's an integer?
Where you can make subtractions.
No. That's a mathematical idea, but that's not what an integer is. But that's, Ryan?
A whole number?
So an integer, it's a whole number and it's opposite. So, I got to choose an integer between 4 and 9. So if I make a 8, what would be negative a? Dylan? Negative 8 would be its opposite. Okay, that's why I chose that word integer. So I have 8 plus negative 6. That equals 8 minus 6. Why? Because addition and subtraction are related, because when I add a negative, it's just like subtracting a positive. So that's that saying that you're going to practice this a lot today. And then I have 5 plus positive 4. Well, we know that's 9. Well, adding a positive is just like what, Kanan? Subtracting a negative. So, subtracting a negative. So 4 minus negative 4, they're equal. They both equal 9. Talk to your tables about the last two. Go. Is this making sense, Shalina?
Okay,
Okay.
so negative 5 plus 5.
Stephen, you can talk the way you can talk to Zeke.
Yes, but I did a positive. So I did 5 plus.
All right, so now I'm starting with a negative a, not a positive a. So I made negative a, negative 4, plus a negative b, so I made that negative 7, equals, if that's negative a, so is this, same, negative 4. But now my negative b turned into a b, so what did I turn my negative 7 into? Positive 7. Because adding a negative is just like subtracting a positive. I'm going to get the same answer no matter what. This over here is going to be negative 11. And this here is also going to be negative 11. They equal the same thing. I can think of it either way. And that goes back to how they are connected or related, addition and subtraction. Does anyone have any questions about the warm-up? IC, check your Infinite Campus, missing work, and your grade. Shouldn't be any surprises at any point. I talk about this every day because I care about you guys learning and wanting to do well. So, shout out, whoop, whoop, to those students who showed up. There was 12 of you guys who showed up this morning before school. Awesome. Some kids showed up at 7, some showed at 7:15, some showed up at 7:30, some rolled in at 7:40. That's called ownership. You're taking ownership of your grades. That's big. Okay, that's going to go a long way. Friday school, don't forget, it's happening this week. Already checked your homework. So, what I would like to do, and there wasn't many questions, everyone understood the homework except we all didn't answer it completely. So if you could, please go to, I didn't write the page number. Go to 46. I want you to read the question. Read the question.
It's my birthday. Can I get out doing homework? Mr. Williams.
Hey, yeah, I have to do homework on my birthday. I'm grading papers and everything.
I don't.
46. You all right, Meg? All right, what does it say, Kanan? 39, what does it say? Read it.
Without doing any calculations, determine which of the following results are positive and which are negative.
Without doing any calculations, Stephen. That means you're not doing the calculations. So, in order to do that, one of the things that you should be using are the algorithms. This is how I can determine whether it's going to be positive or negative. I got subtraction algorithms, addition algorithms. Those will help you determine whether it's going to be positive or negative.
Mr. Cross Country team at this time.
All right, Zeke? Go run like the wind, baby. Steven, run like the wind. Dylan, run like a turtle, dude. Go do it. Get it. Get her done. Wait a minute. Turtles don't run fast. Run like the wind. Today, run like the wind behind the turtle. Where's your meat? BB? Huh?
Yeah, it was. But they did shorten the course. So hot.
I'm confused.
All right. So this was going to be our notes page. Now listen, I'm not going to do the notes unless we have to in here. So far today, not one class has needed me for notes. So we're moving to the engagement piece. Now, because I've done a lot of front loading and you guys have been working pretty hard. So today the focus is on these mathematical ways of being. One mathematical mindset is check your work. Do the work, check your work. Where do you do that?
The clipboard.
You don't need to do it after every question, but you need to be checking your work often. We're still not checking it enough, okay, but you need to check it often. This is one that I have started doing this week, and some of you might have noticed yesterday we didn't have a lot of work time. But if you raise your hand and you ask me a question, Kanan, and you say, Mr. McFarland, I need help on this. This is what I'm going to ask you. Tell me, what do you know? That's how I'm going to start. What do you know about the problem? Because I want you to start here. Before you start thinking you don't know, I want you to think about what you do know. Because you know a lot. And most of the time, this has happened with you before, Caroline, I come over, you're like, I don't get this. And yesterday, I asked you a question, and then you're like, oh, I get it. All I said was, well, what do you know? And you started talking, and you're like, oh, put your mind in a different space. What do you know? Asking questions. You don't need to wait for me. Right, Meg? You could ask Macy. Okay. Eddie, you could ask Jelena. You can ask people around you. And when you ask them, make sure you already have thought about, well, what do I know about this problem? Because if you do this, most of the time you're going to solve all your problems. This is what we're doing. We are plowing through this. Okay, we're going to work hard. I'm going to put a little bit of music on. And the idea is start off where you ended yesterday, Casey. So if you were on the C's, okay, start off on the one you left off on. Continue from there, and you can see when you get down to 43, we're doing all of this. These look like a lot, but they don't take that long. A takes the longest, and then B, C, D, E are pretty quick. Cece.
Do you want us to do it on the same page you did it yesterday?
Yeah, start on that page, and then you can use the notes page for today. We have 40 minutes. Pretty sweet. You will see that we're going to have big blocks of time quite often. Where my expectation is, we've done enough front loading, and we practice the math. If you want to do well here on the test, which is going to be on Monday, if you want to do well on this test, take a guess where you put your time in.
This.
Right now. Yep. This is where you practice. And if you do those mindsets, that's going to help prepare you. Checking my work, make sure I'm doing it right. What do I know? And asking questions when I don't understand. How are we feeling, Eddie?
Good, tired.
Okay. Can we do this? We got basically 35 minutes of independent math time. I'm going to do attendance, and then I'll come around and I'll start supporting you guys. Questions? Good? No, just one. You good? Good? Okay, well, I like the mindset. If you have questions, just raise your hand. She's tricky. Right, because basically what you're doing is you're saying, well, subtracting the negative, that's a negative positive. So this is just that practicing those algorithms. Mason, you okay? Mm-hmm. Good? Okay? Need some support? Okay, yeah, you want to see. Perfect. So, I'm not sure, this might have been, that's what different question, that's why. No, you're fine. Yes, you're crushing it. You're doing so much better than here. You can blow your mask up, that's all. You're hard working man. All right. So, and I don't know what. So you want to start on B. Yeah. Totally. Okay. So here, so I'm adding something to 5 to get 8. What's that? Adding a positive is like? Because subtracting a negative, yeah, nice. It's a very good question. They're the same thing. Subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. No, just their opposites, right? You went from positive toward negative. So it's a lot like what we did on the board today. Does that help out? Awesome question. Eddie?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. Adding. Yeah, so the idea is this. If you have a debt, you owe these $5. The only way you're going to get rid of that debt is if you don't have the money, is if I give you $5. So, well, ready? Listen. If I'm going to subtract that debt away, I'm going to take it away, I have to give you $5. That's the only way I can think of it. Subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. Well, I shouldn't say that. Here's the other way. When I go right, and when I go left, I'm subtracting a positive or adding a negative. When I go right, when I add a positive, what's the only other way? Subtracting a negative. So that's the only, you see how those balance out, right? There's 2 and 2. 2 ways one way, 2 ways the other way. Okay, hold on. Okay, pause for a sec, guys. Let me pause my. So Caroline asked a really good question, and same as Ryan. You go, Kanan. So the question was this: they're like, how is it possible that if I have this, how is this the same? How are these equal? So, yes, I've been saying adding a positive is the same as subtracting a negative. I like to think of it this way as well. What are the 2 ways that you move left on the number line? What's one way to move left? Yeah. Yep. So, subtract a positive or add a negative. So that makes sense. These make sense, right? If I add a debt, that means I'm taking more debt on. I'm getting less. I have less money. So what's the one way we are all very secure on moving right, Canaan, on the number line?
Positive.
Add a positive. So if you look, this is the first way I'm showing you. The only other thing that makes sense is, you know it's going to be subtract, and what's the other sign? These are how I move right. The other way, so Ryan, I'm trying my best, man, I'm trying my best. So this kind of makes sense. That like, yes, those absolutely. Adding, absolutely. Maybe not so much, but now you see why it kind of fits though, right? Subtract, subtract, add, positive, positive, negative, negative. Here's the other way. You owe someone $5. You have no money. You're broke. You're broke, Caroline. Okay? Spent all your money on your ice cream at Chill. So, that's a true statement too. It's good ice cream. So, all your money's gone. The only way you're going to get rid of your debt is if your dad comes up and he gives you $5 to get rid of it.
But then I'm adding a positive.
Exactly. But listen, no, listen. Subtracting a negative, the only way I'm going to take away your debt is by adding a positive. That's the only way you can subtract the debt away. To take it away is to add a positive.
So then how are you subtracting a negative?
So, subtracting a negative is adding a positive. If I'm going to subtract a negative, if I'm going to take that debt away, the only way I can do it is to give you money. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, can I draw
It's
something?
pretty good stuff, huh?
Yeah, but like if I have like 1/8 right here and then I'm subtracting like 3/4.
So if you have 1/8 and you're going to subtract negative 3/4,
Yeah. But like wouldn't I be going this way? I mean,
No,
I know I would,
because-
but like why?
you're not, because the only way to get rid of that 3/4
By adding.
is
right?
to add 3/4.
So really it has nothing to do with math. Adding is just like subtracting.
Well, subtracting a negative is like adding a positive.
But they don't really like.
I know it doesn't sound right, right? Because you're into the negative, right? Like a negative must mean I owe it.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to subtract it away, I don't owe it. Someone took care of it for me. They gave me money. They took care of it. They added positives to me, which would be awesome. Cece's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go say, hey, Tori, what do you think? I remember that money I owed you? How about you take it away? Huh? I'm like, give me some money. What's up?
So, like when you're doing it and you have a negative like that, but then when you go like that, it's just adding.
Wait.
It is. Subtracting a negative is exactly like that. It is adding. That's all you need to know. I know I'm trying to make it make sense to you so you conceptualize it. And the only two ways I have is that way, and then so taking away is giving money too.
I think I have a way, sort of.
Whoa!
It's not necessarily, but like kind of. So like if you have tell me if this makes sense. If you have a number like negative and you're adding a positive, and you're adding a negative, it's going that way because you're like making it bigger. So then if you're not adding it, it has to go the other way.
That's what these two things showed you. When I add a negative, I go left. So the only other way I can go is to the right. See? Goes back to what I was showing you. So anyway, all right, back to work. I just want to see if I could conceptualize or convince you that makes sense. Ryan's still not bought.
No. I just want to know if you can write that back up there.
All right, back to work. We got about 10 more minutes. You guys are working really well. You got it. Yeah. See, I think adding negatives makes total sense, right? Well,
Well, like,
and the other side, you're subtracting a positive.
yeah, but
So,
why?
look, adding negatives, go that way. Subtracting positives, Go that way. So that's why they're equal. Because I'm at negative 5, and I'm taking away a positive 5. When I subtract 5, when I subtract, I go left. So I start at negative 5. No, don't do that. Start at negative 5, then I add 5, I go to negative 10. If I add a negative 5, or I'm at 5, and I subtract 5. If I was at 5 and I subtract 5, where do I end up? 0. So when you subtract, you go left when it's a positive. But if it's a negative, you go right. I'm trying. I'm adding 6. You got it. And so, subtracting a negative is like, and you just got to change that. Because that has to stay the same. Yeah, Ryan, you're getting it, man. Totally getting it. Hey, Tia, grab. Go to the Google Slides and try to do the warm up.
Okay.
Yeah. You figure out what C is. So you put in a rational number for A. A rational number is like 1.5. But a rational number is for B. It can't be 1.5 because that's A. 3.2. So 1.5 plus 3.2 equals 1.8. So I know what C is. 4.8.
Oh, I thought you had to keep
No. So you figure out A and B, and then you get C. And then you just rewrite those.
I just want to let you know this is and this is last.
You did all this yourself?
I just have one of my friends send me homework.
Tia, hold on.
I just have to get my 2 warm-ups done.
And yeah, and tomorrow we'll be caught up on everything.
Yes, I just have to take
So
the test
you
on the
can
computer.
do a better job at that and then crush it and then grade everybody else. You know, just Yep. Slides. Where are you going? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Ah, it's hard, isn't it?
What last name?
Oh, yeah? What do you mean?
Phoebe.
Worst
Was Phoebe good?
I've heard 2 different stories that they're really good in this movie. I've never played before and seen it in July.
We're pretty good at
They're really good at serving, but they're not too good
at passing and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I also tried to turn them this Monday, but when I wasn't here.
Well, none.
Put it back. That was an accident clicking the button.
Sorry, I clicked the computer.
I thought that was yesterday. Where do I get a gun? Yeah, I need today.
All right, guys, go ahead, put your stuff away.
And there's also the union pilot.
This is non-math related, but how far is sports?
A little over an hour. Hour and about. Yeah, it's just past Canyon. Hour and 15. On a bus, about an hour and 15. If I'm driving, 25 minutes. I'm just joking. No, just joking. All right, guys, come on. Homework, planners out. I'm going to read it off to you. I'm going to make it real easy.
Real easy.
Real easy. I'll read it to you. September 17th is today.
Oh, hold up. My birthday.
I'm not going yet. So I'll read it to you here in a second. All right. First, these mindsets. This is how we are going to get better at math. Yes, we need to work hard. We need to do math during math time. We have to stay focused, steady, right? We have to make productive comments. But checking our work is going to make sure we're doing it right. Okay, that reaffirms how we're doing it. Asking questions, but before you ask a question, think about, what do I know? This is going to help us get better at math. And then, of course, asking the questions, digging deeper into what is it exactly I don't know. Instead of saying, I don't get this, say, what part don't I get? Well, I don't understand what this word means, or I don't understand how I'm supposed to answer when they're asking for a rational number because I don't know what a rational number is. That, inquiring about the question, is going to help you get better at math. Okay, I'm going to read it. Write it down. 48E 48F, 48G, 49C, 49D. Page 47. So that is your homework. So before we do the exit ticket, I can show how addition and subtraction of integers are related. Talk to your partner. Yeah, because I want you to do this first. We have time. I want you to talk to your tables about this. How is subtraction and addition related? Go. How are they related? How is subtraction and addition related?
They're related because they're negative and positive numbers. Negative and positive numbers.
Keep going. What about them?
They can go in the same number sentence.
Like, explain.
So if, like an example.
Yeah.
An example. If negative 8 plus positive 6.
Okay, what would that be like? Negative 8 plus positive 6, what's that exactly like?
Positive 8 minus. Or 8. No.
Yeah, no. Negative 8 minus negative 6. Because adding a positive is like? Okay. Okay, next. Here we go. Here it is. Write a subtraction number sentence for the two addition number sentences. I was just talking to Megan, and Megan's like, yeah, if I had a number sentence that was negative 8 plus positive 6, I could write that number sentence, negative 8, subtract negative 6, because adding positive is like subtracting a negative. My answer is not going to change. It's going to be negative 5. But I'm going to change this addition number sentence to a subtraction number sentence. So it's going to be 7 minus what?
Positive.
Minus positive 12. Because subtracting a positive is just like adding a negative. These are the same. You get the same answer. That's what we explored all day today. Okay? Over here. 3, instead of add negative 3, what can I do? Subtract 3. Instead of add negative 7, what can I do? Subtract 7. And what does all that equal? Negative 7. They are the same. Now, before you go on, there is a benefit. There is a benefit, guys, to knowing how to take a subtraction number sentence and turn it into addition. Because what can I do with addition? Yeah, I can use the commutative property and I can switch stuff around and it still makes sense. Adios, amigos.